What's good, family? From the Facebook group Life, Love, and Relationships, TADS. You're tuning into the hottest Facebook live show on the book. It's the After Dinner Snack.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the After Dinner Snack. We are broadcasting live once again from Premium Jungle Studios, deep in the heart of my basement. So we had a very interesting last few days, ladies. Yeah. We did a little event. How did you think that went? How do you think that went? We did cocktails and conversations with was it Brandon Scarborough's group, and how you guys think that went?
I think it went great.
You think it went great?
Yeah, it was exciting. Everybody was all hype and had a lot of opinions.
What you think, Miss Carla J?
I think it was interesting. I would have liked to hear, more individuals' comments, but I think the people that commented weighed in heavily to where it was really isolated amongst a few people.
Where were the guys? We need more guys to show up at all these events all over. We need more guys to show up. We had a house full of, you know what? I'm going to show the video. So you guys, hold on. I'm about to show you the video right now. Now tell me that didn't look like a good night. Tell me, where was y'all at? Didn't that look like a great night? Y'all could have came out. We had food, a DJ. The after dinner snack was setting it off real proper like. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should have came out. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was some good appetizers. Who made the food?
Is it the Amore? What's the name of the company? The Amore company?
The Love Company.
Amore? No, it's
Amore means love.
It's just the Amore. It's some. The contact information for the caterer is on, I believe, the page for Cocktails and Conversations. So if you search that in the Facebook bar, you will see, I believe it's like the Amore, Latrice Walters and her husband.
Oh, okay.
The food was good.
Yeah, it was good.
The food was good. I really stay away from cupcakes, but those cupcakes were pretty good.
I typically like cupcakes. I stayed away. I'm trying to do the right thing.
Okay. I hear you.
I guess a better question, though, as far as where the fellas were at, as to why they wouldn't come to an event like that. Like, why do you think that they didn't come? I mean, as a guy, Tom, have you heard any feedback from guys as to why they wouldn't attend just on some one-on-one stuff?
A few people told me that they didn't want to get into a huge shouting match or debate publicly. But I kind of feel like, now I do admit we had some technical difficulties with the microphones and everything that was going on during the show. But as far as like a general conversation, I thought it was really good. I thought it was pretty progressive. There were a few people who were very emotional, intense, if you will.
It did get intense.
Yeah, it got intense for a second. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like we accomplished what we set out to do. And I felt like it could have been, like, it was guys there. Don't get me wrong. It was guys there. And when I would say something on the mic, they would be like, thumbs up, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't, grab the mic or say much.
Well, I feel like the brothers that grabbed the mic, though, was saying some stuff.
True.
Yeah, so I really appreciate the feedback. And then because of the sound, a lot of the jewels that the brothers who were grabbing the mic were dropping were getting missed. And so then you had people like restating facts or missing messages. Like, I don't know the one brother's name, but he had basically dealt with the whole concept that you were not taking blame away from the male.
Right.
When you said that the female needs to be accountable as far as their single motherhood. So anyway, I thought it was some great discussions. And actually, regarding like brothers coming out, one of the brothers as part of the groups, Love Cook, had mentioned about doing some things as far as males, like speed dating or some concept where people can meet each other in quick increments of time to kind of see what that would be like. But I wonder, would this be a problem too?
You know what? I'm on board. I'm on board with doing a speed dating event. Big shout out once again to Will Blake for actually doing that promo video. He did a really good job. I thought it looked really excellent. But I'm on board with doing a speed dating event. The problem is getting enough quality guys. Like, even when you look at our group, once again, let me go ahead and throw that on the screen. Join our group, Life, Love, and Relationships, TADS. It's over 10,300 people in there, and it is growing every day. But you know, I'm all for it. It's just getting enough guys to make it worth it to the women. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to meet some guys from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different education levels. They want to meet some people, but I don't want to, do it and then it's like 150 women and 10 guys.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely interested in doing a speed dating event. So if you guys, if you ladies know some guys that would be interested, tell them to hit me up in my inbox. Because if I can get a pool of, let's say, 30 to 40, maybe 50 guys, yeah, we can do that. We can put that event on. I'm down with that. I
was talking to people about it. They were saying like do a split, like maybe 25 guys, 25 females, do like a weekend, like a retreat thing, something like that.
That's maybe doing too much. Off rip. Let's just, we can get the venue and then we could do something small just to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Give people the opportunity to watch it grow.
Yeah. Because they need those face-to-face encounters. Because like on the group, a lot of people say drive those selfies, do this and do that.
Right. They be fronting though.
Yeah.
They be fronting.
Yeah. But it's like they're putting bait out there to get feedback, which leads us to this topic that we're discussing today.
Okay. We are talking today. The topic of the day is why no ring? Is it you? Why no ring? Is it you? Break that down just a little bit in your opinion. I know what I would say. Go ahead. But I'm going to let you say. Go ahead.
Who is the you? It's two yous around here.
You people.
Okay, I think first we have to establish what we're talking about. So when we say why no ring, is it you? It's not just talking about a sister, like why you're unmarried. It's also directed at the brothers. Why are you not producing a ring, or why are you not married? Like, what's the holdup? Could it be something that you're dealing with, that you're struggling with, whether it's commitment issues or unrealistic expectations? So when it says why no ring, is it you? I think it leads for a self-examination.
Interesting. Miss Flem?
I think that it's basically like we kind of question ourselves, like, am I the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or are we just wasting time? Basically just self-doubt, doubting if it's you or not,
I mean, at the end of the day, I could have pulled up a whole bunch of stats for these different topics, but it boils down to 50% of marriages end in divorce, and it's always been like that. It's always been like that. So it is literally, flipping a coin with marriage, and it hasn't went up, it hasn't went down. It might, vary a little bit, but that's still the hallmark of marriage. And it's like,
I don't think that's an accurate stat. I think it's dated.
You think it?
Yeah.
I mean, well, the I did pull up one. It was from the U.S. Census from 1980 and 2010, and it was like so slight of a difference that I was just like, I'm not really gonna make a graphic for this. It's pretty much 50-50.
Yeah.
It was like 54 one year.
Just say you believe.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, generalizations do bode true. It's just sometimes when they're negative, we don't want to look at them or give them validity.
No, but I just want to deal with accuracy. I want to deal with facts. We can make a generalization that 50% of marriages don't work, but you got to deal with populations, the percentage of marriages and what communities work, because the millennials are like, a lot of people make the generalization that they're in it and not for the long haul. And then you look at some who have time vested, where we're getting back to the traditional concepts of marriage, or people in these long-term relationships don't know. didn't do a study. So I'm
That's
not going
what
to say
I'm saying.
I'm not
But
saying it's anything statistically correct about my statement, but I'm saying just say it appears to be, or in previous studies it showed that there was a limited amount.
I'm more of a, like, I deal in the realistic, the hardcore numbers of it. So I can take I can take the actual census report and say, okay, there's some truth here. I'm not going to look at the census report and be like, aliens landed in Roswell in 1954.
But listen, Tom, I'm not gonna get on you with this with statistics because it's really foolery, and I feel like you're just trying to push my buttons because
I'm not pushing.
When
your
you look
buttons.
at the census, who took part in the census? Who was really
United
recorded?
States.
No, who? Again, I'm going to say Tom because we have studies that show the jadedness of the census and people not really partaking in the census in order to eliminate a certain representation.
Okay,
of
I
people
totally
within
get
the
what you're
census.
saying. I know, like when I used to live in the projects back in last week. No, I'm for real. Like when I was a kid, and I used to live in the Wilberforce projects, and I remember when the census takers used to come out, and like my mom was like, "Boy, close that door." You know what I'm saying? And so I do feel like it is a large portion of people who don't participate in the census, but at the same time, it's hard. I'm not saying it's like 100% accurate. What I'm saying is it's the only baseline we have. So it's like, we got to start somewhere to correct some problems. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. Okay? So you can put your pistol up, and we're not going to fight today. Okay? Right. But back to the topic of today. You know what I'm saying? Why no ring? Is it you? Is it you? And me, I'm gonna start off, and I'm just gonna say that, you know, years ago, a man went to a young lady's dad and said, you know what, let me ask can I get your daughter's hand in marriage? And he said yes, or he said no. And depending on that outcome, you know, say he said yes, they got married, they had children. Divorce was really not an option. Like, we gonna ride this out until the wheels fall off. And I believe we've gotten so far from that. And the biggest thing is options and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? People have so many options once they're in a relationship to get out of a relationship. Like, you can literally get married, go to Vegas, get married, 2 days later, say y'all married 5 years. You can be divorced in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can say, you know what, I messed up, I'm gonna do something else, like a pair of shoes or an outfit or a bad top. You can just get out of a marriage. And that's people are doing it every day. So it's like, what makes you drop anchor on one person and say, you know what, I'm gonna ride it out with this one person and we're gonna do this all the way 100 and not fall into the options and quit?
I think it's timing. Timing as in like where you at in your life, maturity, age. If you're healed from like past or anything like that, I think it's timing, just where you at in your life. Because like in my 20s, I would love to be married, but I wasn't focused on that in my 20s. I just wasn't.
So how long did you ever get in a relationship that you were just sort of like shacking up for a long period of time?
No, because the shacking up became an engagement. So it wasn't long.
Isn't it still? It would still be shacking even if you're engaged because you're not a wife.
Well, true.
So
you got a point there.
I mean, it goes back to what you had said during Cocktails and Conversations. Like, didn't you say something like to the effect of, if you single,
if you're not married, you single.
If you're not married, you single. Even if you like hardcore dating, living with somebody, common law in your eyes, you still single.
Well, yeah, no law's eyes, because you're not gonna get no pension. You just made me aware of the fact that you can get on benefits, which I guess is great for some people, but you can't get that pension. You can't go sign off on any records for that brother, that sister. Then guess what? You got a glorified boyfriend or girlfriend.
I get it. Hey, one thing different today. We're going to let people start calling in. So just call in if you want to. Right now, we're going to just start taking callers as soon as possible. So 216-800-7222. The number's on the screen. Give us a call. Jump in the conversation. I will not hang up on you today if you're not a certain person. But
well, Toy White is saying that sometimes people, because they're not seeing an example, a good example of marriage, that or any role models in marriage, it's kind of like, let's fall back from that. We don't really need to do that because what we have is a good thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like those people who are engaged forever.
Right.
And a lot of times it's like, okay, y'all was engaged back in 2003. That's still your fiance? Like, y'all still engaged? So I think sometimes people get comfortable in those roles, and because of the fear of, okay, if I hop into this commitment, it's like you saying, Tommy, I got to go through so much to get out. Whereas if I just can skate in it, if we can live together, kind of get a sense of it, then when I'm out, I can really be out without no legal part.
But I think we got to be careful with that, because if you're doing wifey duties and you together all these years, it's like, what's the goal here?
But you know something, they penalize married couples, like financially and everything. Like I know friends that are living a married life, but you know, they're not married, and like, just say tax time. This is tax time. Perfect example. They're able to file head of household, you know what I'm saying, twice on 2 different addresses and get 2 different returns. When you get married, you can't do that at all. Yeah, I just pulled it's a scam. Yes, they're scamming. I'm not going to say any names. But yeah, they're scamming. But it's like, even when you look at welfare, like if you look at welfare and be like, okay, if you're a single mom or a single parent, period, you get more. Now, if you get married, now it's like, oh yeah, you don't qualify. You know what I'm saying?
But then you gotta look at it too. It's just a perspective, because 2 incomes is better than 1.
True.
So
if they're bringing it in like that, and I think, well, we know, the welfare system is not designed to build families. That's not what the system is designed.
Break that down for them.
It's not. It's just really not designed to keep a family together, and that's why when you see a younger couple, if they're trying to work, okay, immediately you lose your benefits, and our money may not be to the state where you can really keep your benefits, but you know, so it's just not designed for that. So if you're thinking marriage, you need to think providing.
True.
So I think before you even come to the table with marriage, you have to be realistic of what that looks like. And people get so comfortable nowadays, like they want to work one job, where some cases 1 job is not enough. So you have to think, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to sacrifice for this family or for this wife? And when you give the example of back in the day, when people went to a person's father, the whole mindset and the work ethic was different. Ruth Harrell was stating that the problem why there's no ring and people not making commitments is because I often say, okay, I'm an alpha female. So with that, it's an expectation. Alpha females know who they are because we're aggressive, we're assertive, and we take care of things. We got out in front of things. Well, a male that cannot handle that strength is not going to commit. What you saying? Because I'm saying you a gamma male, Swoop. Not even beta. Going all the way down. Like, I'm gonna put you at gamma mode.
Hey, I'm just gonna say that, and I'm not pointing fingers at you, but I feel like a lot of women are under the impression that they're alpha females, and they really are not. They are doing what they are supposed to be doing as an adult.
Oh no! Tell me, what do you think an alpha female is then? With making that statement, I'm curious on what do you define an alpha female is, because I don't think it's probably correct.
Okay, I'm a reverse that just a little bit. I'm gonna tell you what is not an alpha female. Okay, so I'm gonna say, like, okay, if you're a woman of age and you have a job.
What's of age? What is that?
I'm just saying. Oh, you know.
What's the age? 25, 30?
Okay, we can go there. Just not a kid. Okay.
Okay.
So
all right, got you.
All right. So
I didn't know when you say I'm age.
All right. So if you're, age and you have a job and you take care of your responsibilities and you have let's say you have some kids and they're doing well in school and blase, you're a good parent. You're a good citizen. An alpha female is somebody who goes above and beyond, like whether it's in business, whether it's in education, and they're a leader. They're you know what I'm saying, they're tapped into greatness.
This is all to all my alpha females. I would give you a salute. I would say this because clearly we know those who are at the top of the food chain.
And let me
so
take
I
that
know
back.
Plenty of alpha
alpha female could be, like, honestly, I believe some of those grandmothers from back in the day were alpha females because they
Agreed.
held down the whole family. And when that woman passed, so did the family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know my grandmother held it down. You know what I'm saying? And when she passed, ain't nobody step up because they did not have her skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have cookouts like we used to. We don't have none of that stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? It used to be, you know what I'm saying? If something went down in the family, you tell Big Mama, she handled it. Now, Big Mama 32.
You know what?
I'm just saying, Big Mama 32. She don't know how to handle nothing.
But that, you know what? That's a very good point, because that still goes back to the point that that was made earlier about seeing those certain role models, whether it's for marriage. Why no ring? Because brothers are not getting taught that a ring is a requirement for family, for building something sustainable, and sisters too. I think one time, Toy, you made this statement about how a lot of females were saying, like, I don't want to, you went to an event and they were about, oh, I don't want to get married. I just want to, or
Yeah, like they didn't want a title. Like they was cool with just being.
I can't stand them black women. I can't stand
But
them.
I think that
You
goes
love
back.
black women.
No, I can't stand them women.
Those types.
I can't
okay.
stand the women who just feel like they gotta put a bulletin board out saying, "Oh yeah, no, I don't want." I feel like, but the thing is, I feel like as black women, y'all need to check them women, not us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of stuff that goes on in the black community needs to be handled by the appropriate channels, if you will. And I feel like as women, y'all need to start correcting. Like, I see more reckless women, let's just say in our group, that don't
You are
get.
Katana. I'm talking to someone.
How you gonna interrupt me? Listen, I'm just saying, I see more reckless women say different things in that group that other women don't agree with, but they don't say anything to her. And then before you know it, a guy will say something that a woman should have said. And now it's like, oh yeah, let's all jump on this dude. He attacking black women.
That does
Yeah, but then
sometimes.
sometimes in the thing, it's just like people voicing their opinion. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Just knock somebody from their opinion. Sometimes it depends on what it is.
If that opinion is speaking for you, or even,
I said it depends on what it is.
okay.
Well, that's like Rayshawn Oliver and Robert Coggins. Rayshawn put up a post and it was stating that you not, I'm paraphrasing, you're not a wifey material. You up here posting about your sex life on, social media and things like that, then you're not wifey material. And then Robert,
What do they mean by posting?
like, if you know how women, my cousin Dominic got bomb examples of this. Call in, Dominic, if you listening. On his newsfeed, like, I guess people that like girls be saying, I'm so
Horny or
yeah, I
something?
just wanna I wanna just inappropriate things. Like,
But okay, I
Crazy
will
stuff, or
say
it's so good.
inside the group, anything goes as far as posting, things. It's just you got to be accountable for what you post. But back to why no ring? Is it you? And that kind of context. It's like, if you in the group and you looking to meet somebody, that's the example you putting out there. So if you getting somebody coming at you inappropriately, somebody saying, different things like, oh, I don't think I would ever date her. She, do X. That's you. You put that out there.
Right.
and that's a personal preference. What Robert was saying was, this is just my summation of what his post was, is that a lot of people are front because you don't want to be embarrassed. Like a female, you putting on all these social media sites, you wouldn't date a dude that got this hoopty car or that does this, but you deal with a bum that can't even pay like your gas off for a year. He can't even help you with your gas,
Right.
or he can't even put gas in your car. But you talking about what a brother can't pick you up in.
Exactly.
And so Robert was saying, like, come on, it's just because you don't want to be embarrassed that you make this statement. Like, I think he was saying too, and brothers, you might deal with like the baby mama situation, a female that has 7 children, 6 baby daddy. Right. And you may wife her. But when we had that single moms against everyone, people want to be like, who? Like you said, I'm in the wind. Right. Somebody a cuffer and lover.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend earlier, and we were talking about how things look good on paper. Like, basically, like, oh, this is what, like, say, like, if you was like looking up to somebody, a father figure, and so if this girl is up to par to that person, who's to say is that person is just for you, or is just the person that you looking up to, and you just trying to make it look good on paper for you to be in a relationship. And when it gets down to being in a relationship, as in marriage and stuff, it's like, it's not gonna work out because you got.
Yeah, hold on one second. We got a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. Just give us your name and give us your comment.
I was going to let Latoya talk because I think she's talking about me. But this is Brittany. Hi, guys.
Hey, Brittany.
But go ahead. Give us your comment.
Well, I was getting ready to say that you guys are talking about women posting like their sexuality and things of that. I was going to say maybe why no rings, because you're putting stuff out there. You're going to attract what you putting out there. So I mean, we looking for a husband, and we putting on social media how horny we are. We talking about our sexual lives. I mean, what are we going to attract? It don't seem like we would attract marriage material.
Now, let me ask you this question: do you feel like women should be more accountable?
Well, absolutely, because we have this term of the trap thirst, or the thirst trap, or whatever the little post that women put up with the booties out and things of that nature. And it's kind of like, what are you putting that out there for? Like, what are you hoping to gain? Like, and then they be on there like, I don't understand why I'm not married. Well, because men like that. I believe so. But I mean, like, that's like temporary stuff. Like, that's a girl that they would call go out with baby, or that's the girl that they would call at 2:30 at night to see if she would answer the phone. That's not somebody that they gonna bring home, introduce to their parents, maybe think about having a family with, like,
Yeah, I told her.
What are you putting out? What are you putting out there? Right
now, okay. Back to the group. I'm gonna just go ahead and say Life, Love, and Relationships, TADS, on Facebook. Now, a lot of people feel like since they're in a group, it's a closed group, they can be a little bit more lenient and relaxed with what they do post, because it's not for the general public.
10,000 people, bro.
And that's my whole thing. It's over 10,000 people in the group, and I feel like it should be a level of accountability. But at the same time, if you feel safe and able to post, you should be able to do that. Once again, Brittany, thank you for giving us a call in.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye, Brittany.
Thank you. I think she made some good points.
I think she did too.
But the thing is, I remember hearing people say it's somebody for everybody.
Right.
Like when you see someone. So there's some people, just like when we talk about open relationships or open marriages.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not a fan of that. I don't support
Latoya?
it.
No.
Okay, I'll bring that up later on.
Oh, how do you feel?
Like I said, at Cocktails and Conversations, that I'm not for it as far as, would I be a part of it? But I do understand how some people feel like that dynamic will work for them, because I do feel like the marriage between a man and a woman is really an American concept that isn't even like a couple 100 years old. Like, for thousands of years, men had multiple wives, and that's just how it was. And we got so far away from that thinking that it's inconceivable. Like, he mine, he can only be mine, she mine, she can only, it's just, when you think about this cheating and stuff like that, like, sometimes the dynamic of multiple wives would work for some people. Not for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm simple. You know what I'm saying? I'm Levi's. I'm the straight leg Levi's. I'm a simple man. I don't need all that. Okay, y'all looking at me like I am crazy. Y'all
no. I think I know in some practices a man is supposed to have, is allowed to have as many wives as he's able to take care of. Culturally, that's how it has been. And then when we talk about polygamy, and that is a thing that many cultures have practiced throughout time and in centuries, we see as we move from polytheistic, a multiple God worshiping type of culture, which we know United States supposedly found on Christianity, you get more towards a monotheistic faith, one God. And then you start to see, as that religion progressed, relationship, meaning a marriage is between a man and a woman after you leave out of the Old Testament. When it saw the problems that can accompany having multiple wives. And some scholars just say it just was the wisdom of the matter, of the problem that came about with who is the rightful heir and who is the, who would be the inheritor of the goods if both sons were born the same time by the two different women. So
well like in Game of Thrones, I'm
not familiar.
I'm just saying. We're not about to go there.
I think the whole idea of marriage, whatever the concept is, how do you get a ring, or when do you choose to produce a ring? If you're cool, whatever your concept of marriage is, what leads you to enter into that? Because really, it's a covenant. It's a contractual understanding. So, and covenants, as I understand them, are not to be broken. Less death.
The topic for today is why no ring? Is it you? What do you feel about people who feel like they are wifey or husband material, and they are so far from it, it makes no sense?
It still goes back to the questioning. What determines what a wife or husband material is? It's that individual's preference.
Yes.
It's not, we can come up with our own constructs of what we believe a good husband is. Well, that would be a good husband for Carla. What Toya says is cool with her as far as a mate, I may not be in agreement. I may not say that's a good husband for me ultimately, as far as what I'm thinking. The same way as with a wife. One man may say, I believe my wife should be at home raising the children, that the role of the wife is in the household, that she's supposed to provide, to cook and prepare the family in whatever ways. That's her role. Another man may say, I need you to walk alongside me, that we build this thing together. If you're career driven, I'm fine with that. I'm career driven. So it is just based off an individual's what they are requiring. Now, if we say why not rings, we need people to start chiming in. Listening.
We got a couple people who have, and one of the persons just said, "Is it okay for a female to propose to a male?" Listen, I was gonna put that video on today, and I kind of feel like. Y'all know I've already said this before. I'm all for an aggressive woman.
Yes.
And I love a woman who knows what she wants. And I feel like if she jumped the order and did it, you know what I'm saying? Like they were moving towards that and she just beat him to it, I wouldn't be mad. But at the same time, I would be like, I would wanted to do that. Yeah, I wanted to do it. But I can't be mad because it is ultimately where we want to go. I mean, is that wrong? Is your opinion? I mean, I can tell you guys don't like it.
No, I wasn't. Because listen, one of the reality TV, when I had time to watch reality TV, I don't watch this show anymore because they're not on it. But I really liked Love and Hip Hop New York when Jim Jones and Chrissy was on there. Yeah,
I really that was
my
Chrissy.
Chrissy, the truth.
Yeah, she can get that action.
I liked her.
That
and
mole.
Jimmy's.
That mole.
Get your life.
That mole. Though?
But their whole dynamic. I know people can judge me on this, whatever. I liked how they rocked. I liked their relationship. I liked how it appeared that they handled with each other. And I kind of was vested in them. You know, you have a couple like that, T.I. and Tiny, a couple that you root for, that you want to work. That was my feelings towards this couple. But she proposed to Jim on the show.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is because her aunt, I think, who raised her, Jimmy was talking to them, her uncle or something. And her uncle said, yeah, her aunt. That's what her aunt did, the same thing to me, and I think they had some time in. So I guess it just depends. I'm not gonna say that I'm against it. I would not do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be like, I want you to marry me. I just would not.
But I think women do it in so many different ways. You are saying you want that person to marry you.
Yeah, but you ain't getting no knee.
You said that with like a little attitude and swagger in your voice. I'm like,
no.
what's going on? I mean, you a little agitated.
I don't agree
Didn't
with
you?
that.
Her whole face was like, you ain't getting down on no knee.
I'm not getting on no knee.
You ain't getting on no knee.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I'm old school, all this new stuff. I'm not on that. But I think it just kind of piggybacks off of what Carla said. Basically, how people might view you, like you wifey to one guy, but another guy might not think you wifey.
Right.
So that might be okay for a girl to get down on one knee to one guy, but another guy it might not. So for me, I'm not getting on no knee.
I mean, but I feel like I kind of
Period.
feel like I feel like y'all so adamant about it that when you meet that person that does it for you, you never know what you capable of.
Oh no, that's not
You
happening,
never
my
know.
brother.
But
That's not happening with me. Now I'll be submissive. I don't have a problem with doing that to my man and being all that he wants me to be and being me or whatever. But I'm not getting on no knee.
So if God told you to get on a knee, you'll be like, well,
God ain't telling me that.
I'm just saying,
I talk to him all the time, and he ain't telling me to get on no knee.
So you telling me you listen to everything God say, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, so if God told you to get down on the knee, you get down on the knee.
God's not going to do that.
Oh, so you telling me what God gonna do? You
I already know.
My fault.
We
Okay,
close.
sorry.
We close.
All right,
We
okay.
don't roll like
So
that.
you telling me you done roll with all of his decisions in your life?
Majority of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Now that's one thing I'm very strong in. That's being obedient.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yes. We're gonna put sugar
Okay.
and spice.
I'm keeping it
I'm gonna
real.
pat my weave on that
Listen.
one. Okay. All
That's
right.
one thing that you gonna know about Toya. I will keep it real. I don't gotta sugarcoat nothing.
Now, do you all think that a lot of maybe the limited swapping of the nuptials or the rings is as a result of people living, like if they're already living together? Like you said, if they're already performing wifey duties, they're already performing husband duties. Do you think it comes to a point, well, if we're say, why no ring? Is it you? Could that answer be completely, well, yeah, because we're operating in this space that the ring becomes unnecessary. Like the concept of marriage. We're talking about marriage, but do you think that we are, based off y'all opinions, those of you who are listening and people that you know and what you're seeing, do you think we're at a point where the institution of marriage, most people are seeing it not really as that relevant?
I personally, I am for marriage, and I want to get married like soon. Like I don't want to be
2
that.
months.
I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that distinguished, handsome man at the end of the bar who just sent you a drink. I don't want to be that brother no more. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my logic is, and I've been married before. You know what I'm saying? And I was married for quite some time. I was married for 13 years. So I do know what I'm getting myself into, whereas I feel like a lot of people don't. So the idea of marriage sometimes to some person, like she said, is perspective. It can be a sexy thing. It could be, oh, my grandmother and them did it. They was old. Whereas I don't think people have enough examples to really guide them in what they should do for them. And we don't honor people who are married like we used to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a married couple. We looked up to them. We don't do that. We look up to like the most dysfunctional stuff. You know, we look at guys who treat girls wrong. You'll see somebody throw a party for a guy who coming home from jail from beating up a girl. Like, and he having a coming home party, and people show up. I'm like, really? This what we doing? Like, I don't get it. And we so far away from it, and we got to get back to, like, in another group that I have, or I rock with, you know, I put like a post up and I'd be like, you know, post your married couple, your favorite married couple. And people would post all these different couples. Like it was like 300 different pictures. And it was so beautiful to look at, like all these people just married and together. It was dope. It was dope. But
I know some I've seen some bomb young married couples.
yes.
Like as of recently, like couples, not fictional couples, not just off of television, but where I'm like, you know, I like what I'm seeing. They just give you a good energy when you're around them. So,
I love Gabrielle Union and D Wade.
Yeah.
See, I don't know, probably because like the way, not to the degree of Gabrielle, because she could be outrageous, but like how they have fun together. I do stuff like that. I love to do stuff like that. Just be dancing and singing and cracking up. And
I don't think it's like that all the time.
I like Mari and Gary 330.
who is that?
Who?
They some local people. Amari and Gary. Somebody type in what's Amari? What's her married last name?
You gonna
I
put
forgot.
their whole social security number on the show?
No, because they're the bomb. I just like them. They're a young married couple. What is their last name? Somebody post up.
Yeah, somebody.
Mari Humphrey.
Oh, they're my people.
Stop council.
Oh, yeah, they're my
council.
people.
The councils. Love them.
Yeah, they're my people. But
fresh,
all right, somebody just asked the question again. Like, is an alpha female submissive or willing to be like?
Oh, absolutely.
See, my problem with an alpha female, and this goes back to that snippet that I saw on CNN with these very accomplished young black women. They don't feel like they can. Hold on, we got a caller. Hold on one second. Hey, how you doing, caller? State your name and give us your comment.
Miss Tom.
Are you gonna giggle? Who is it?
Oh, y'all can hear me? Oh,
yes, we hear you.
This is Shay.
Okay.
My bad.
All right, go ahead.
Shay.
All right,
Yeah.
give us your comment.
I'm calling because what I feel like, even though I'm younger here, I feel like with the whole marriage thing, a lot of people, especially around my age, the younger 20s, don't want to get married because it's something they're afraid of it.
What's the fear?
See, I think a lot of people are afraid of when it comes to marriage. It's to them that's like a huge commitment. But being a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they can break up anytime, like leave or anything of that sort. But actually being married, that means they actually have to sit down and actually try to go through and talk through problems and really try to resolve issues. In this day and age, people don't want to do that. They want to find somebody that either you're going to do this or you're not going to do it. And if you're not going to do it, somebody else will.
Yeah, I
with
really
her on
appreciate your call, Shay. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
That's real right there. That's real because for her to call in and say that, for one, that perspective was super duper dope. And that's where I feel like the options become too much for a marriage for some people. You know what I'm saying? I can walk away, I can leave, I can dip. And in the 13 years I was married, we had some tough times, but we had a lot of great times. But we went to counseling. We did all that stuff because I got married early. I got married at 23. You know what I'm saying? But we went to counseling, pastoral counseling, traditional counseling. We put a lot of work in trying to fix it. Whereas now it's like that first little situation blow up. Deuce, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm
gone.
I think too, like it's just society how it's like that microwave mentality. Like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm about to put this rice in the microwave. It's about to take 2 seconds. I'm out. It ain't
Instant
no time.
gratification.
It's like nobody's want to invest in time. And I don't think people, and I don't think it's gonna get better. I don't think it's gonna get better.
I think it's because it's you, and you have to be willing to know I'm not the one for you. Because anything that you want, you're willing to invest time into. And it's like Ben X, brother Ben X.
I thought you said DMX.
That's the homie
DMX.
too. No, brother Ben X, if y'all not hip, get hip. But he put a great post, and in that post he was saying, I've seen brothers in relationship with sisters for 5 and 10 years. And then when they get out that relationship, they be in another relationship for 6 months and get married. And so, in my opinion, here's the deal. If I'm what you want, then you're going to work to solidify the deal with me. In the same way, if you're what I want, it's not going to be that quick. I'm just going to be out. Because some of us, if we're real, we may have temper tantrums. But that's where your better half comes in to say, no, because I want you, because you are for me. And I believe that you are mine. That I'm willing to put in the work, and you're not gonna leave because really you're supposed to be there.
But at the same time, it's getting to that point, Carla. Like a lot of people won't get to that point. Like, like you'll meet somebody, they'll be great. Next thing you know, it's like you self-sabotaging. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he literally did not move the moon for me. And, and it's like people start dealing in minor faults. And it's because
that's why I think timing. I think timing is so important. I think maturity, like sometimes like I look back at things when I was in a relationship and things that I thought was, like really major, and they weren't to me. You know what I'm saying? So as I gotten older and then I started to see things and things that were more important than the little, and I've learned to focus on the big picture and not the little things, I look at relationships differently. You know what I'm saying? So things back then, I wouldn't have, been a good wife, or I wouldn't have been able to make good decisions off of where my mind was at because it was immature.
Let me ask you this question to both of you ladies. Do you feel like we as individuals don't know how to pick our mates?
I would say oftentimes, yes.
And why aren't we more receptive to other people? Like, remember the first show, and it was like 70-something% of people that are in successful relationships over 5 years were put together by their friends. Like they were matchmade. Mm-hmm. Like, why don't we do more of that if that works more times than not? Because I feel we get in our own way.
I think that as well.
I think too. Now this comes with dealing. What does your circle look like? Because
I run with some reckless brothers.
If you're in a circle, if your circle is that of the ratchet ridiculousness,
is your circle of that?
Oh no, no, it's not.
You have no ratchet friends.
No,
I don't.
My circle is very small.
I have no. Don't play me.
Y'all ain't got no y'all. Come on, man.
No,
everybody got a ratchet cousin.
What you mean by ratchet?
Come on, everybody got a ratchet cousin. Don't front.
Like right now, I do not have no friend. Now back in the day, I might have had a.
I mean,
you said
cousin.
Circle, so I said. I mean, most of your family members do run in your circle.
No. I don't consider that my circle.
Wow.
It's family.
Blood
circle.
make us related. Loyalty make us family.
Oh my goodness, that's a T-shirt.
But listen, know it. So my circle is like this.
And then family is, what is it? Friends are picked. Family are put together. I mean, how does it go? I can't remember.
I don't remember that T-shirt. No, I don't remember that T-shirt. But
you pick your friends. You don't pick your family.
I'm just saying. I mean, I value some of my ratchet friends. My friend Tony is like one of my best friends in the world, and he ratchet as they come. But he also one of the smartest. He also one of the smartest people I know.
Most ratchet person in my circle.
I own my ratchet people. I don't just throw them out when I'm on air. Go ahead.
I might be the
okay, what's your definition of ratchet though? I don't have.
I could do a dysfunctional human being that
No, I'm not.
No, I don't know.
No dysfunctional human beings. Huh?
I probably.
Michelle Obama is also on the show today, and
I have people. You have people that you around. I'm talking about my inner circle. Those I break bread with and make moves with. I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. That might be your circle. Let that be your moment. Let that be your thing.
I mean, but y'all saying y'all don't even deal with no.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying I'm better or anything like that. I just don't have right now.
I'm saying you talking about my inner circle. You talking about people you making moves with. You setting goals and your plans with. That's not the ratchet. This is boss level.
All right. So we're back to matchmaking.
With your ratchet.
We're saying matchmaking.
Your ratchet crew.
I can name one of your ratchet friends, but listen.
And I bet you she all the way leveled up.
Listen,
but what I'm saying,
what I'm saying is, when you get back to matchmaking, why don't we let people matchmake for us? And let that roll out.
I don't think that's a bad concept. I'm gonna be honest, because I've sought counsel with things like that. But like I said, I have trusted counsel to help me see my issues and how I need to better be receptive to the good that God is bringing to me, or that's coming into my life to help me to really just receive my blessing, or as a colleague and friend of mine said, my happy. So it just depends. You have to be, I'm a believer. So as a Christian, the Bible says that a wise man seeks a multitude of counsel. So I think if you're moving in wisdom, you're going to seek the counsel, and it has to be trusted counsel. If you're looking at someone you're looking at them, like you said, like some of the listeners have stated, if you're looking at a piss poor example of relationships or a marriage, or a person that got married but their marriage is really a joke, because some people have been posting on the feed too, is no one really values the seriousness of marriage, and they're just getting married because it's cute, because they want to be a bridezilla, or because they want to get this cake or this dress, but they're not really digging deep into what that means.
A lot of people get married for the title.
For the title, then you're faced with what we're talking about here. You're faced with not seeing the proper example, not being able to say, okay, you're married, so let me seek what you're saying. You can't tell me nothing because your stuff is a train wreck.
True, but you can find something beautiful in a train wreck. Sometimes, like, you know, people who've went through a lot of adversity in their lives are capable of building.
When you've gone through, but if you're still in and you're in the wreckage saying, oh, it's okay that my arm is hanging off and no one is trying to repair it. It's okay that I am hemorrhaging and no one is dealing with the issue. Okay, you're sick. You need some help.
Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with you. There's a lot of people who are walking around totally damaged out here like, why ain't I married? Why I'm a good woman. You know what I'm saying? I was a good woman. No, you're not. You're not a good. You know what? You're a good woman, but you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you got gas in your car to get to work.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take care of that. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna take care of me? You know what I'm saying? And another thing, you said this to me a long time ago, like back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? No, when you said you want somebody, and this is just me personally, y'all may not feel this way. When I can't pray for myself, I want somebody who will pray for me. And that was real deep to me, and that stuck to me real strong. And
Exactly.
you know, and I know me personally, when I talk to a woman or I deal with them and I listen to how they pray and what they pray on, and if their prayers to me be like self-centered, like the world is just happening to me, help me, Lord. I'm like, nah, B, it don't work that way. You know, that's just me. But hey, to each his own. But why no ring? Is it you? Once again, we want to give these callers opportunity to give us a call in. Once again, it's 216-800-7222. Give us a call in. We are taking calls right now. Everybody keeps saying, what's the number? Number right on the screen. It's 216-800-222. Once again, join our club, our Facebook group, Life, Love, and Relationships, TADS. It's growing every day, and it's getting more and more interesting. I made a poll today inside the group, and it was basically the show's topic, and it was different options where, you know, I feel the first option was like, you know, well, why no ring was the question, and then one of the options were, you know, did education or career come first? Did you not meet the right person? I can't remember what even I put, but I know everybody clicked on the I didn't meet the right person. And for me, it was like, I kind of feel like everybody's met somebody they could have married. They just chose not to because there were too many options.
I think one time a good friend of mine, he had stated, he said, you know, he was referencing another situation, and he said, you know what, Carla, it's just right time, wrong season.
He let you down like that?
No, it wasn't.
I'm joking. I'm down.
But he was giving an example because he was talking about the sister that he had. Wrong time, right season. Wrong time, right season. And he was talking about this sister, and she had married this brother who, for all perfunctory reasons, like what we're talking about, like a pastor who marries a woman because it's a good look, and he's trying to move up to get a mega church or whatever. And so this was really the situation. So this sister married this brother. It was a good look, but her and this friend of mine had this bomb chemistry, and he really like you're talking about praying for somebody, covering somebody in prayer, but when they came back, wrong time, right season. Like they had both had matured to the level, but she had committed into a marriage with someone that was not who God intended. And it goes to Randus had just made a statement about that.
We got a caller.
Like just the wrong person.
Hey, how you doing, caller? State your name and give us your comment. Hello? We lost a caller. Give us a call right back. But go ahead, Carla.
And basically, it's like Randus has said, sometimes we want what isn't good for us. And because he said, I've been hooked up with some good sisters and some good situations, but it just didn't quite click or quite work. And I think, I almost said my friend's name. And so when my friend was talking about this female, he was like, you know what? It's wrong time, right season. Meaning we had a season in our life where we're ready for this, but the timing is just so wrong because now she's committed in this relationship and I can't even entertain the idea. I want to counsel this woman. I want to cover this woman, but she's in a covenant relationship with someone else. So I got to walk away from this sister and she in an unhappy situation.
I done been down that road.
Yeah.
I done been down that road. You got to let that go.
Yeah.
You gotta, hold on one second. We got to call her again. Hold on. Hey, caller, how you doing? You're on After Dinner Stack. State your name and your comment. Hello? Hello? Caller? All right.
Don't get scared.
No, don't get scared. You know, they be talking and then you get on there and they be like, I don't know. Other people listening.
I ain't gonna know my voice.
Yeah, they gonna recognize me in AA. No. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, why no ring? Is it you? That's the topic for today. As a people, we just got to get. All right, hold on. We're gonna try this one more time. We're gonna try this one more time. Hey, caller, this is Tom. You're on After Dinner Snack. Give us your name and your comment.
My name is Ty.
Okay.
And I am commenting on marriage. So I'm 30. I got married at 29. 29.
Okay.
And I feel like for my situation, at first it was just rushed. You know, being in a relationship, I poured a lot of myself as far as showing wife qualities right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the papers is involved, like I don't think people understand how much work goes into being married. So even after all the parties and after, you know, the glamour and glitz or whatever, like it's serious work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think my husband had a real appreciation for me until we actually were married, you know, for me to see like, okay, he really enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? He didn't,
Mm-hmm.
he probably appreciated me. He was just like, oh, she doing this, and this, so I'm going to marry her. But then once we got into the storm, it was just like, oh, I can't lose it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So even if you do get married and it's drama or messy or rushed, it doesn't mean that God doesn't want it to happen. You guys just have to humble yourself and work through it.
What would be
everything that's rushed? Huh?
Now, being somebody who, you know, got married, what would you say that first hurdle was?
For me, the biggest hurdle was like right after my reception, we had to go to custody court for my stepchildren.
Okay.
And it was like I was on trial and he was on trial, and it was, we would fight in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so much drama with that, and us move. We had to relocate. Like our lives changed immediately after marriage.
How long did y'all date?
Moved from Columbus. We dated for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you get married? Like y'all was together for a year and a half. Things were golden. It was Gucci, as the young people say. And then you decided to get married. Like why?
It wasn't even, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't even Gucci or golden. I just felt like if I'm going to put up with what you bring to the table, then I should be a wife. And sometimes I made that statement, like it's not easy dealing with my husband.
So what made you want to commit to that? Because I'm going to be honest, I probably would have ran. With what you're saying, like with the drama that you're saying that you already seen on the wall, I can't see that I would have committed. The Lord would have had to come down and speak to me in a fiery cloud.
I'm done.
Stop.
As far
far as with
serious.
children and mothers and some of his own personal dramas, it is a lot to deal with. I think it's about the pros that he brings. You know, he's charming. He's a provider. Like, he does bring great quality. Like, he's not hell to deal with. It's just a lot of people will see those things and be like, oh, hell no. I'm not
So do you feel
these women really are out of control.
So do you feel like you had to put a lot of work forth to keep him? Like, to make a marriage to work and stuff, so you had to put like a lot of work into it to make this relationship last?
In the beginning, I put a lot of work into it when we were dating, yes. I gave my majority in the beginning.
So you was trying to get
before marriage.
So was it Operation Get the Ring, girl? Like, because it seemed like you saying you was putting in work because you was trying to keep something.
We lived together. I was cooking. I was picking up his children.
Girl.
You know, stuff that women really wouldn't do, you know what I'm saying, when there is no ring involved.
Well,
you
a lot of
arguing
sisters,
with the baby mom. I was doing a lot of those things. Like women do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're giving before you even know if they even want to be your husband.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
like,
putting out.
But I think that's why no ring, because like a sister like me will be out.
But then, but at the same time, Carla, is being a wife like your ultimate goal?
Well, yes.
That was listen. That was
Are you sure
that
about
was
that?
the shadiest yes that we gonna ever hear. That was shady.
You put in all that work, so you do want to be.
But I'm thinking,
if I'm doing all X, Y, and Z for somebody
that you love that brother.
I want
Yeah.
to eventually be your,
I'm just saying, in that situation, that wouldn't be like based off of God bless you, and this is no shade to you, because like we said earlier, there's somebody for everybody. Multiple baby mamas, issues, drama. No, I need you to keep that in line. I don't want the drama. And this is what we talk about, why no ring. This is why a sister like me would not, in a case, have a ring, because no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do. I ain't got time for it.
But then sometimes I always hear like a lot of guys say, oh, she stuck with me through this, and that is why I married her.
I bet they do, because ain't nobody else gonna stay.
Because sometimes guys like when a girl stay there when it's tough times and it's drama, and you stuck there with them and you stood there with them, and
you go broke, I'll stay. We can build back up.
Now let's like Miss Ty. So like, you know, has there ever been a point in the time that you guys have been married where he has left you?
No, it's always vice versa.
You just dip on him?
And yeah, I literally, if I was to take what, like as far as the baby mama drama and some of the other problems and just take it and you run with it, there's been times I'd be like, oh, he messy. Or if I listen to the woman, I've listened to the other mothers because they've had relationships with him as well. And I used to just be like, oh, he's crazy, you know. And women, if you do that, you know, it'll check. Like, that's not who he is. And sometimes I would leave and then be like, okay, this ain't right. Because they'll say, he ain't a good dad. He don't take care of it. He don't pay but this and child support. Until I see the pay stub. And he putting out $16,000 and it ain't even the 6th month of the year of child support for 3 children. Or I see he's calling and texting and, you know what I'm saying? They're not receiving the calls. So people will sabotage too. And if you listen, you know, just because there's multiple women, it doesn't mean that he's a bad person. I have children with other people too, you know. I'm just not messy. And my children's father, he's not messy. So if I would have taken those situations and ran, I probably could have missed my blessing. It's nothing wrong. Like, I literally had to sometimes sit down with my grandmother. She's 81. She's been married for I don't know how long. And she told me, like, we've had plenty of storms, but we keep that stuff in our house, for one, and we work through it together. And my grandpa will tell you today, if my grandma was to die, he's going to go shortly after because they hearts beat together. I'm sure it didn't start that way.
That's real.
But you gotta work towards it. And I once the marriage came, once I actually changed my last name was when I was just like, I can't do this. I'm going to court, he being ripped to shreds, you know, kids lying. It was very deep. And it was much easier for me to say, I'm cool.
Yeah,
And
you're right. It's easy, right.
It.
It's so easy to quit. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, that staying in there, that throwing anchor down on this one person, and you know, because people be feeling like they wasted their life, they wasted their time, they wasted. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, I don't look back at the 13 years that I was married as a waste of time. I don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? I got wonderful kids. I had wonderful experiences. We just weren't long-term compatibility. We had long-term compatibility issues. But at the same time, I probably could have stayed. I probably could have just, you know, suffered some sadness for a while, but I didn't, and so I'm not gonna be judgmental of somebody who dip, but I feel like I did put in enough time to know, you know what I'm saying, where I feel like people dipping now like 30 seconds into the relationship, 40 seconds into the marriage.
But I think,
oh yeah, we was like 2 months in, and I was like putting my ring on the table. Like, you can
but my thing is, my thing is that you went in it though knowing what was up. So ring on the table for what? See, that's when the problem. People think when they get a ring, and I'm not saying this is your case, Ty, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the case, but people think if he was in the strip club every day of the week when he was dating you, guess what? When you get that ring, he's still gonna be at the strip club. It ain't changing because you got a ring. If it was alarms ringing before you change your last name, when you change your last name, that they ain't gonna stop. So it's for me, for me, I believe some writing is already on the wall. So when a female like me say, I'm out. I'm out. Like,
we've established,
like
Carly, you out, period.
Out.
You out, and you're not giving no.
But I love this, Sister Ty. I love how you talking and everything, because
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful example of something different that's just not me. But I think it's a good.
Hey, we want to thank you, Ty, for giving us a call.
I think this with the younger generation. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
No, like the girl said, she was in her 20s. Like she said, the younger generation, more so than the older, they do move in. You either gonna deal with it or you're not. That's why that's one thing that you don't see as far as when marriages go, and you have to understand, like, whatever is presented at the table in the beginning is gonna be the same plus more when marriage is attached.
So
you just have to work together and not just bounce, and you know, it's a team effort. And I literally had to, on many occasions, I still go to my grandparents and talk to her about it, because I was the one in the beginning putting my business on Facebook and all of that, and she was like, honey, don't call your friends, don't call your mama, don't get on Facebook. If this is your husband and you guys are one, you work through whatever inside your household.
That's real.
And that's what will build your marriage up.
But that,
and,
you know something, that's the lack, sorry not to cut you off, but that right there is the lack of leadership that we don't have in most families.
Agreed.
I think that's great that she goes to her grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
I think that's real great for you in your relationship.
Yeah. Well, I have to, because she's very honest too. So I have to go and talk to her about certain things, because she'll tell me the truth. And I may not like what the truth say about my grandpa, but it's the truth.
The truth will set you free, okay?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Well, we want to thank you for giving us a call today, Ty. We really appreciate the call.
Thanks, guys. Love the show.
Okay, thank you.
You know something, man, that grandma, we need more big mamas. we need more big mamas out here in the world, for real, because it's like when you can set your grandchild straight off of just real life, like your life experiences, and they take that back home, and they cut out all the social media, and they cut out all the interference and the distractions, and they're able to, you know, fix their marriage or work on their marriage. That's a strong sediment, man.
I love the fact that she goes to her grandma. I love the fact that it's not her girlfriends she going to. It's her grandma, who her grandpa and grandma been together for years, and she has respect for them, that she can take advice, you know, from somebody who's telling her the truth. And that's where she gonna grow at, because that's where she going, to somebody who's, you know, that's setting an example for her. And I think it's awesome. And
it's that mentorship. Like when we started this discussion, when people said, we just not seeing enough of this model. Why no ring? Is it you? Well, yeah, it's societal. it's our coverings. It's the people that, it's like that Titus 2. We don't have that model where the younger is teaching, the older is teaching the younger and things like that on how to be, what is a good matriarch or patriarch, the head of these families. What does that look like? Why is the institution of marriage necessary? And I would say ultimately it's the security that if you care about me, that you're going to secure me in a certain way, aligning me with you. It's like a level of protection for a sense. It's not only a declaration of your love, because you could do that without a ceremony.
Yeah, I do agree with you, ladies. And we've come to the end of another great show. I really appreciate all the callers who called in today.
Yes.
Ty, Shay, Brittany, we really appreciate your calls today. And once again, next week, I hope more people give us the opportunity and call in 216-800-7222. We're going to wrap it up here shortly. You guys want to say anything before we get off?
I would just say, enjoy the now. Don't be so worried about being married, and just kind of enjoy the presence right now. Don't focus on the future. Don't focus on the past. Enjoy life right now, because it's passing by. And another thing too, what else did I want to say? Oh, when you praying for that man, don't be praying just for your husband. Pray for yourself, for being that wife that you need to be for your husband. And that's all I wanted to say.
She put cornbreads and greens on that plate.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think when you consider why not a ring, is that really the ultimate goal with these relationships that you are taking part in? Is a ring the ultimate goal, or are you just doing something? And also, to be transparent, is a ring, giving a ring, receiving a ring, the goal of the person that you're trying to see? Because the problem is, a lot of people are chasing after people that don't want to be caught by them. And so you don't want to get caught up in that cycle. So just be real with what you're seeking in relationships. It's life, love, and relationships, what you want out of it.
Hey, I'm just going to say, look to married people. Look to married people. Look for those examples of husband and wife that you can look up to, those examples. And they don't have to, if you black, they don't got to be black. They can be white. They can be Greek. They can be Pakistanish. They can be whatever they are. I mean, it is. But you need to look to examples of marriage that, and find out if that's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to play in the NBA until they see how LeBron work out. You know what I'm saying? That's every day, all day long, year after year, 15 years in. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not easy, and look to those examples. Don't be looking for this stuff that you see people on social media posting images. Let that go. Look for examples of solid marriages and find out if this is something you want to do and something you could see yourself being happy for the rest of your life with, and understanding that marriage is supposed to be forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say. I want to thank everybody for calling in, listening today. We will be back next Monday. If you guys got any show topics that you want us to hit, please leave them in the inbox, and please share this stream with everybody. Share it with everybody. Share it in every group, every page that you belong to. We're trying to grow this thing into something huge, but we will see you next week. And
chime in about the speed date.
Speed date, yeah.
Speed date. If y'all want to do it and y'all looking forward to it, fellas, where y'all at?
All right. We'll see you all next week, Monday, 8:30. Holla.
Bye.
Blessings.